So I did something for charity.
Yeah, you're into charity, but you don't like to talk about it. Is that right?
Well, that's true.
Do you remember those characters that? Oh, who did them in England? Smashy and Nicey, and they were two old school DJs. They always talk about the things they do for charity, but they don't like to talk about them.
Well, yeah, that's all right.
I don't like to talk about them. Yeah, no, I don't. I do a lot for charity. I don't like to talk about it.
One, I would like to talk about it, but two, I thought, what would you have done in the same situation? So I was approached by Food Bank, who do great work.
Yeah. I know Food Bank.
Yeah, they basically take surplus food and it doesn't get thrown away. It gets channeled onto people who need food.
So don't tell me you were doing a soup kitchen for 8 hours down in Port Melbourne or somewhere. You didn't do a soup kitchen for...
In my own backyard. I had a soup kitchen in my own backyard. No, I didn't. No. They said, would you mind doing a spatula where you write something on the spatula, and I have it here.
Is that all you had to do?
Well...
You didn't go work at a food bank?
Well,
you didn't stack crates,
now I'm feeling bad.
Crates on a truck?
Now I'm feeling bad.
No, well, that's fair enough because you get some...
Because I know friends of ours do go out to the... And they do stuff
Who?
with. Well,
Who does that?
Well, one of our movie friends.
Really?
Yeah, he does it.
What?
So they asked me... I don't like to talk about...
I don't have any... What, Eric Banner? He goes and mans the soup kitchen?
I didn't say he did.
I don't know Eric did that.
But he does a lot of good work.
I know he does a lot of good work, but I've never heard that he goes to soup kitchens. I think you're making it up.
I'm not. Anyway, I don't want to give away his
Vince
title.
Colosimo.
I was asked to write something on a spatula.
Imagine if you go out as a celebrity to do a soup thing and you're not very good at it. He's shit house. He keeps spilling the soup.
Don't invite him back. But he's a big star. Doesn't matter.
He's always having a cigarette out the back.
I used to do the McDonald's used to have me happy day.
McHappy. I did that once.
Yeah.
I did it twice.
And it was like, I was behind the counter and I'm going, well, if I feel like some chips, I'm going to have some chips. And it was like, oh my God. The people working there go, I can't believe you ate the chips again. Sack me.
When I turned up to the Deer Park McDonald's, and that's on the outskirts of Melbourne in the west.
Yeah.
Deer Park, where there's no deers and there's no parks. And anyway, I go out there, and the guy made me seriously work on the drive-through. Like, he goes, no, you're working a and it was so dangerous.
It's ridiculous.
And then at least two people came through, and this was at my height of Nova. So I was on TV a bit doing TV ads and stuff for Nova. You know, Nova was very popular back then. And anyway, two different people came through the drive-through, saw me and said, oh, are you working here now, mate? I said, no, I'm not. It's a true story. No, it's McHappy Day.
Everything is fine now. Was it?
And then I did one in Ringwood, and then it had an AFL footballer, former Collingwood legend, who wouldn't let me and the other comic go near the till. He was like, no, I'm doing this, and he kept pushing us away.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know whether they still do it, but it's...
Oh, they do.
Yeah. And the weird part is, like you say, because I was doing it, and you don't want to be recognised, but you kind of do so they understand why you're not very good at your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if they don't, then some little kid has to go, don't you realise who that is? And then you have to go. And then they go, no, I don't know who that is. And you're going, oh, my God. Oh, everyone knows who he is. He's done. You're going to, please, can we just, you know what? I'm going to eat some chips over there. Just get on. Anyway, They asked me to write on a spatula.
I got to say, I was thinking about this the other day. Spatula is my favourite
tool implement.
Kitchen implement. Because my mum never used them. Only when I met Kieran did she introduce me to the wonders of the plastic spatula. In terms of getting stuff, like when you make a cake, getting all the icing out of the bowl.
Yeah.
Even when I make porridge for the kids sometimes, I use to get... Because it gets everything out. It's an amazing invention, that spatula.
Well...
I don't think you've used it enough.
You're being patronising now.
I'm talking to the cooks out there that are like me, that front up every night.
You don't think you've ever used a spatula?
Stare at the stove and go...
I'll tell you one thing I would love, and I reckon you use a spatula. There's scrambled eggs, there's poached eggs, there's fried eggs. I like folded eggs. And you need... you obviously
What is that? What is a folded egg?
See, again, your attitude is just unfriendly. Folded eggs are divine. They're like a mixture halfway between an omelette and scrambled, where you put it in the thing and you fold it. You don't.
Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that.
Of course you do.
I love an omelette. Love an omelette.
Yeah, but omelette's a little bit harder. Folded eggs.
Oh, I like a softer egg.
Softer, yeah. And I reckon you need a spatula. A friend of the show, Alex, taught me to do it. You wait for it to go on the side, then
he'd be a big fan of the spatula, being a professional cook.
Well, I have got my own spatula on the market now that you can go out and buy, and I can't remember where you can buy it. Minimax. There you go. You can buy it at Minimax. It says,
are they marketing these?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a one-off. They're going to auction at a function.
No, you can go out to a shop and buy mine now.
And so, looking at one side, it's got Glenn Robbins. Is that your signature, or
Yeah,
sort
I
of just-
wrote that so you could read it properly. I don't know whether it was meant to be a signature or I wrote it so you can. So
they're selling them at Minimax.
yes, and other people have done them as well, and I can't remember. I think Hamish
Who?
Blake did one.
Oh,
I think, Chrissy did-
oh man,
What?
we can see the rack now. I saw this the other day with I was in a chemist, and
Yeah.
waiting for a prescription, and they had all these sippy cups of footy teams.
Yep.
What do you reckon ones were left? So,
Oh,
put it this
well-
way: Collingwood had gone, Carlton had gone, all the big teams had gone.
Oh, GWS.
Yeah, it's down at GWS,
Yeah,
North
yeah,
Melbourne.
yeah.
You're I hate to say it.
I'm up the bat, but no, there's plenty of me. That's what there is because no one's bought them.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
the GWS.
But maybe,
Hamish is like their Collingwood.
yeah. Well, maybe when you work out what I wrote on the other side, and
I
I'm
think
doing
you
this.
need to put in brackets Russell Coit and Cal Knight.
Just
so
in
people get it. Glenn Robb. Oh, yeah, he's Russell Coit and
don't know
Cal
who
Knight. He's
that
got it in
is.
brackets.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my challenge to you.
Yeah.
You have been asked. Okay, let's be honest.
I have not been asked.
yeah.
But I'm not in that category
Well,
with you and Hamish.
Now you've
Did
trumped
Kitty
up
do
about
one,
how
or-
good you are with you. Maybe they'll be on the phone to get you. Don't think so. You have to try and predict what I wrote on the other side.
I'll do the toilet brush.
So this is a bit like it's a game show. I'm going to hold it up like that. I'll take a photograph of it and I'll send it to you. Now you have to try and predict.
Okay.
So in other words, what did I write?
Scrape the bottom of the barrel with this, I have.
Oh,
Or
that's
something like that. I don't know. Scrape, scoop, don't use this on your toilet, exclamation mark.
that's really good. Yeah, you keep going. But I didn't write those, by the way. No, but I think they're very funny.
Did you write like a food kind of related
Yes,
thing? Or
yeah. I wrote it in
when you make a cake, think of me.
Yeah, that's good.
Um,
There's some people just drew pictures.
oh yeah. Did you
Yeah.
reference any of your characters or
No.
Okay, so it's purely a joke about a spatula.
Yeah, and it's something that you
Scrape.
can. My reference is something you can do, and it has a slight sexual undertone.
Ah, okay. Don't use this in the bedroom.
Jesus, you cut straight to the
Um,
chase. Give you two more goes, and I'm going to reveal.
Give me the first word.
Please,
Oh,
please
Please.
do something with this.
oh. Please use this in the kitchen, not the bedroom.
No, I'm going to reveal it.
Yeah,
now.
go and
Okay.
reveal it. And it says, please lick me when you're finished. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Please lick me when you're finished.
And it's coloured. You got different.
Well, I wrote it in black, and then I thought, I've got to make it a bit more exciting and jazzy. So I just happened to have those textures at home,
That's great.
and you do it on a bit of paper, and then they go and they print them up. Anyway, so you can have a "Please lick me when you're finished." If you go to Minimax, you'll be supporting Food Bank, which are doing wonderful work with surplus food around the world. Is it around the world? Is
It's
it
just Australia,
Yeah, Australia.
I think.
Anyway. So there you go.
And there's a number of other celebrities. So you might go there with the intention of buying Glenn's one, but then you go, oh Jesus, Ashley
Yeah.
Keady's got one. I'll have that one instead.
You can't have too many spatulas, as
We
you
know,
have
they're a
used
great.
it
And I
said.
do wonder whether that's going to wear off.
No, it's professionally made. It wasn't made with just normal text.
Oh, so you didn't just sit in
You
the.
just think I sat there and did 50 of
yeah,
them.
like
No.
you're like Dipper signing memorabilia at a
No.
footy night.
No, look, you can rub that. Look, it's not
Oh, that is cool. Oh, here's our lunch. Look at this. Wow, I'll play the music on it.
perfect timing.
Welcome to Somehow Related Now. Please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, just I want to say something.
Hmm.
I just noticed something.
Hmm.
I don't want to say. I hope this doesn't come across as rude.
I've got something on my face from eating.
No, something about eating. I ordered. Say what you say. What I had.
Yeah, you always have your chicken schnitzel and salad.
Yeah, but what sort of chicken schnitzel?
The kids one.
The kids' one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want a big plate.
Oh no, the schnitzels are big here too.
Yeah. And what did you have?
I had a kids parma.
Was that a kids' parma?
Yeah. That's a half parma.
Oh, well, my observation isn't that good then. All I noticed was I had a kids one, and we both ate them at the same rate. We both finished at the same time. I'm thinking, wow, Dave got through a full parma.
No, it was a half parma. Gee, it was good though.
Yeah.
I haven't had good Parmalat.
Okay,
for a
so
while.
I'm just saying that you're not. So therefore, but you did have chips, and you got through salad and chips and parma.
Hungry.
I only had salad. So therefore, in some ways, you
I eat
I eat
fast.
slowly, or you eat fast.
I eat fast.
I eat fast too. It's not good for you.
No, apparently it's not good for you. But I fast in the. I don't eat in the morning, so
So when you get to eat, you're like a dog that hasn't been fed for a couple of days. You
yes,
just gulp it down.
angry, hungry.
When I was staying with my brothers and a friend over in the States, we were staying with this American girl, and she said, "Oh my God, you guys inhale food.
yeah,
You inhale
inhale
that."
food.
And you're going, well, you know what, we probably do. And especially when you eat at home, if you eat at home alone at some stage,
Yeah,
you catch yourself going, oh my God.
yeah, I know.
Kitty used to talk about it. It's just full on.
Oh,
The attack of the food. Anyway.
I know.
didn't
Imagine
mention
being
that-
really hungry. Like we're hungry, but we're not hungry like people that have been starving. You'd be really inhaling the food.
But then again, your stomach would shrink a bit, so you wouldn't be able to have as much.
Oh.
Yeah. So just remember that.
Remember that, kids?
Yeah.
When you're stuck in the desert
Okay. See, a lot about
with your
food.
Glen Robbins spatula.
Would you like that? Would you like that as a gift?
Oh, I'll have that. Absolutely. You know what? You don't want it?
Well, I've got one, so you can have the other one.
that's great.
And we should put a photograph of it on the thing. So when you're at Minimax or whatever it's called,
I love Minimax.
well,
Great
you
shop.
obviously you've
That's Prue and True.
yeah.
That's where they work.
Yeah.
It's Kath and Kim. Or they work. It's Minimax.
You come aroused when you use from what you were saying before. You get really quite
About Prue and True.
no
I find Prue and
about
True.
spatulas, not Prue and True.
I find Prue and True very attractive. They're right in my age group now.
Well,
I love those posh women. Anyway.
Oh, hello, David.
Oh,
You're buying a spatula.
Buying a spatula. That is
Will
great.
you smack me with that, would you?
Can you sign it? Oh, you already have.
Yeah, but I know what's going to happen. You're going to take it home, and your partner's going to go, "Oh, I don't really want that in amongst my really good ones."
No, that's all right. It's not designer kitchen or anything.
Well, I wouldn't put it in mine because on our bench we have a lot of those in the thing on the bench, so they're out. Do you have it in a drawer?
No, in a thing, in a jug.
In a jug on the table, which is your standard issue.
Yeah.
I don't.
We've got about 4 jugs with stuff in them. We've got a lot of stuff, so that's perfect. And I'll use that.
Well, make a little video of you using it. I want to see that. Do it and do it with an apron on with no pants.
You don't want to see that. No, that is great. I love that. I love a spatula. All right, well, we've got to get 2 topics.
Two topics that that are related and
What if Sam's been, sometimes she, remember when that guy complained there was too much singing and then she gave us ABBA? What if she's going to give us a food-based one?
well, she might. She's very clever like that.
I know. What other topics, Sam?
Back to the Future in a refrigerator.
What?
A fridge.
She's sort of on topic.
Yeah, fridge is food.
That's all it is, I guess. What have you got? Have you got
A smeg. A smug. A smeg.
I don't know what I am. No, I was going to say you got a 2-door or 1-door.
Oh, no, 2-door.
No, I mean, sorry again. Meaning 2 doors opening up like cupboards, or have you got?
No.
Okay, where's your freezer? Then where's your freezer? Up the top or down the bottom?
Up the top.
Oh, that's old school.
You're down the bottom.
I got a freezer down the bottom.
Oh, no. I've
Which
used
I
your
think-
freezer.
Yeah,
I put my Diet Coke in
I
there.
noticed you were in there having a bit of a fossick around the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bit of a sniff around.
There was someone's head in there. That's a bit weird. I just shut up and didn't say
Don't
anything.
worry about Kevin. Kevin was willing. It was annoying me, and I.
And he wanted to be frozen like Walt Disney.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay, what other fridges you can get now? You can get the old school. The old school was that.
Calvinator.
Yeah, and where was the freezer?
It was up the
It was
top.
one door,
Yeah, I had one of them.
and it had that little manky door
Yes.
that would snap.
You see in motels have them still.
and they flap. They used to flap down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the freezer would never really freeze that well.
No. So, but then they went to the 2-door where the freezer was on the top and
Yeah.
the refrigerator was on the bottom.
But that double door one, you haven't got a double door one, have you?
I mean, the hole's not big enough.
Yeah, I know. That's a big thing, isn't it? Is the hole big enough?
Yeah,
And also, that's like a Brady Bunch kind of one for big families.
yeah, and then they often have a water dispenser in there, which is ice.
Oh, the ice maker.
I wonder if a friend of mine had one of those. I'm like, this is really special. And then they push it, and it goes clonk, 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 clonk.
So cool.
Wow, this is great, Mrs. Watson. Your refrigerator. Can I have some cordial on my ice just from the fridge? It's only
We got an
27%.
ice maker in our fridge, but it's not like it's.
Oh,
in
do you have an ice maker?
Yeah, but it's not one of them. It's Kieran said, this one comes with an ice maker. I'm like, oh my God. And all of these in the freezer, you just fill up a tray and then you flip it.
Yeah, you give it, and it goes blah, 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 and
Yeah.
it falls out into whatever's in
into
below.
a plastic container.
Yeah. Then they have it's connected up to the mains.
Oh, it's amazing.
You get your water.
Amazing.
Which is great.
I've got to say, fridges are a great invention.
But nowadays they've run out of ideas, and now they have ones with a video screen.
Oh,
on
yeah,
it.
where it sends you messages and stuff.
Yeah, I need some of this and I need some of that. And,
Wrong.
You know, or they all have ones where you can see in there. Well, you don't want to. What you got to do if you're a 15-year-old boy is you open the fridge, you lean on the fridge door,
Yeah.
and you say, "I'm hungry."
Oh, no, there's nothing to eat in here.
There's nothing to eat.
My
in
kids
here.
still say that.
Yeah.
There's nothing to eat, and there's so much to eat in there.
You'd have leftovers in there.
Yeah, leftovers. Let me think. The fridges. I always have to clean out the fridge. I don't know who. There seems to be a lot of fans in our house of putting leftovers in the fridge and just leaving them until they go mouldy.
What's your this is off test? So how do you know when something's off?
Smell it. I tend to smell it.
See, I can't tell. I go, "Is this off?" And I go to somebody, "Oh, that's horrible. Get rid of it now."
I mean, Brad Oakes, the comedian, used to do that great joke. Is this Parmesan cheese off? How would you know? It's a good joke.
This is a good joke.
I go by use-by dates on the yogurts and stuff. There seems to be a lot of stuff in our fridge at the moment.
So, what about down the bottom? You got your
Crisper, the crisper.
So, how does a crisper work?
Yeah, I know.
How does a crisper work?
It's just somewhere to put your vegetables until they go mouldy.
Well, your celery goes floppy.
Oh, yeah.
You go, well, this celery is not good.
No,
it's
it's
gone floppy.
floppy.
And your carrot's a bit floppy.
Yeah,
So
a
they're
bit
straight
manky.
out. But I don't know what else.
You know what we've got? So we've got freezer up the top, separate thing. Shelf. In between the crisper and the shelves, we've got a meat tray. It's like you pull it out and there's like a little shelf where you can put all your meat and stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Ah.
Because we've got, I think, in our freezer, we have a very thin tray, which I think is for pastry.
Oh.
Would that be right? Frozen
Yeah,
pastry down there?
yep,
Because I
yep,
noticed
yep.
that you can't, you go, what's that tray for? I can't get anything in there.
Yeah.
But it's only about an inch, I reckon.
You know what I hate? How the fridge beeps at you when you leave it open? I hate that.
Yeah, it's like it's in charge.
Beep, beep. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm in charge.
I'm
here.
cleaning you out, you idiot.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Close the door.
But you remember when you live in
Getting
those
warm.
shed houses and you'd open the fridge, there'd be no light. It's so good to have a proper functioning fridge.
Yeah.
We used to have to defrost the fridge. Remember that?
Well,
Defrosting the fridge?
so the new ones, you don't have to do anything.
No, they're great.
Because I reckon it wasn't that long ago that maybe my fridge is a bit old. I reckon we had to do the thing where you turn it off, put some towels on the floor.
Yeah, we did that.
Put some towels on the floor, and is that right?
Yeah.
But
And
we
take
can do it-
everything out because it'd be like icicles up the back.
Because the freezer is on the bottom, so doing
Hmm.
maybe you just leave the whole fridge on, but you open the door of the fridge. Anyway, you put towels down, you come back at the end of the day, all the towels wet, and
Yeah.
you've got rid of that casserole from 1975. And Bob's your uncle, and you find, look at this ice cream. Can I eat that? Then you open it up. It's been attacked by the ice.
Oh, I hate it when ice cream melts and then refreezes.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that down the beach there's always power outages and you turn up and you open your fridge and you're like, you can tell there's been a power outage by the
yeah.
state of the ice cream.
Yeah. What is currently on your top shelf?
Oh.
Now I'm talking your top shelf.
Yeah,
now is that
top
your
shelf.
primo position? We talked about this because when you do your
Poo test.
poo test, and that is good. Is that, anyway? So if you
When you hit 50.
yeah, so there are probably a younger audience out there, and they should be having this test. Anyway, we were saying, what level does your sample go on?
Not the top shelf. No.
Oh, hang on, I
What are you
think
putting in the top shelf?
I think it is the top
My
shelf
top
because you
shelf-
would hate to put it in down amongst
You
the.
can't put in the veggies.
You can't put it in the
Or
veggies.
on the door in those.
You can't put it in the door because you're worried it might be mistaken for a bit
chutney.
of pate or something. Well, this looks nice.
My top shelf at the moment's got a lot. That's Kieran's put these sort of plastic trays in there where it's got names on them like yogurt and butter and dips and stuff. So that's what's up there at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've got a few jarred chutneys and relishes up there, and something up, a bit of
find
powdered stuff up there.
The middle shelf is where the leftovers go and what the meat and stuff, or that you've bit cooked. Or
Your middle shelves are your high turnover.
Yes.
they're like
Yes.
they're. Yeah,
I look at some of the stuff on the second shelf, for example. And go, well, how long's that been there?
I know there's stuff, and if you get relegated, if let's just say you're an item and you get relegated to the back of the top shelf,
Oh.
you won't be seen for years.
No, there's relics in there, and you're
Yeah.
like, I gotta chuck that out.
Yeah, and then you read the use by date, and you go, Jesus, that's way too long. You know, so if you're in the middle and you're a bit of food, you go, oh, they'll get me soon. They'll get me soon. Now, here's a question: do you have, and I do, do you have your own section of the fridge? You probably don't because you're a big family. To the middle right is where my yogurt and my blueberries go.
Don't touch them.
Remember that now. So when we go to the other house, I still claim the right-hand middle.
Oh wow!
It's like when you go to a hotel, when you get
Sleep on the side of the
sleep
bed.
on the same. When you go to a fridge,
Get it.
I go, okay, right-hand side middle. My yogurt always goes there
I get it. Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
because then you know when kids are coming into the house, you go, there's some blueberries there because there's my blueberries and then there's the kids' blueberries.
yeah, well, with kids and I've got like teenagers and adults basically. There's random shit turns up, like like a cruiser or a vodka cruiser, or
Oh.
I opened a thing the other day and there's like a donut. I go, whose donut? That's mine. Don't touch it. I'm like,
Oh, then the female, the mother of the house comes in. You didn't throw away so and so, did you? You go,
yeah.
oh no,
I know.
Oh, no, I was keeping that. That was for my special thing.
I
you
know. Karen threw away some chocolate the other night. Oh no, it's
yeah.
just what happens with fridges.
Anyway.
But they are a great invention.
There we go. And how what they started with? Here's a
Cool
question.
box. Nana
Here's a
used
question.
to have a what they used to have, cool box or whatever. The Iceman would come over.
Drop a bit of ice. Imagine that, kids out there listening.
Yeah,
All you had was a box
Block of-
with a Hessian bag over
Yeah.
front of it,
block of ice.
block of ice in the back, and you put your leg of lamb in there, and it would be okay for a few days.
Okay, let's do a quick quiz. Fridge or cupboard? Yeah, you ready?
What do you mean?
I'll tell you an object. You go fridge or cupboard. Where would you put it?
Yep, go.
Tomato sauce.
Fridge door.
So I go cupboard. Sometimes tomato sauce. Chutney opened.
Oh, definitely in the fridge. As soon as the things are opened.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Jam. Okay, I'll give you one
Yeah.
back. Jam opened.
no, fridge. What about peanut butter?
Oh, no, that's not in the fridge.
That's in the cupboard. Vegemite.
Oh, that's in the cupboard.
I've seen peanut butter in the fridge at some people's house.
You sneer at them. You go, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what are you
would-
doing?
Don't, let me just come. Let me rearrange it for you. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Okay, keep going. I'm enjoying this.
Milk. Milk. They'd be in the fridge. I think they'd be in the fridge. There's not many borderline ones though. Tomato sauce is the bigger one, I reckon.
As you know,
Soy sauce.
a cupboard.
Oh.
Or maybe there is one in the fridge. I'm trying to picture the fridge.
Worcester sauce. Do you have Worcester sauce or?
Yeah,
Where's
we've
that?
got some. In the door.
Mm.
The door is where you get a little bit exotic.
Yes.
Yeah. So you go, oh, they're this. Oh,
That's
that's
where the borderline things go too, I reckon.
yeah. They're like the relatives. They're the relatives that you don't know that well.
You don't know one chocolate.
No,
Not in the fridge.
no.
Oh, I love chocolate in the
But,
fridge.
but then it goes snappy hard. You want it to
I
be.
love
You
it.
want it room temperature.
I love it.
They're
like the relatives. What you're going to say? I'll interrupt you.
it's meaning that you have relatives that that you're quite enamored with, but you don't see them very often. That's like the fridge door. They're very special. So what else is there to mention?
I don't know.
They come in different colours now, don't they?
Yeah, we had a yellow one for a while, but we got the classic off-white.
You had a yellow one?
We had a yellow.
You would have had
snake.
a hip. That would have been that hip retro style.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I see it now.
Yes. It was yellow.
Yeah. And then what's great is how long do they last? 10 years?
I reckon 10 years.
Yeah, I reckon 10 years. Because doesn't something happen out
They
the back?
They break down.
They
a
start
bit.
to leak
They
something.
break down.
Oh, here's a question I was going to ask. How does a fridge work? Does it put cold air in there, or does it take hot air out?
No, it's cold air in there. Isn't it like air conditioning, fridges?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
Because I remember at school, that was a refrigerator repairman. That was definitely on the careers of people and air conditioning.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Back to the Future? I think we've done a lot of fridge talk. That's a lot of fridge talk.
It is a lot of fridge talk.
All right.
Yeah. But it's been good.
Yeah. Back to the Future. I actually really like Back to the Future. I thought I haven't seen it for a while, but it's a good movie.
You would have to put what genre is it?
Oh, it's sci-fi, but it's teen. It's a teen sci-fi movie.
Is it comedy?
Yeah.
Is it sci-fi? It has
Drama,
to be.
comedy, yeah. It's funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's very fun. It's a classic film.
Yeah. Really good film.
Yeah.
And
well, I've been to the set, whatever.
you've been to the set.
Yeah.
Was that in one of those studio tours?
Yeah. Yeah. Was that Universal? Is that
Yeah, it might be Universal.
Universal? Where you get on the trolley and you go around and then you drive. Was it like a circular courtyard or something in the movie?
Yeah. The town.
Yeah, well, I
the
drove
town.
around it, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Biff's the bully.
Yep.
Michael J. Fox.
What is the plot? The plot is, if I remember rightly, someone has to go back in time to make sure that the parents don't die, because if they die, then he wouldn't have existed. Is that right?
Is that what it is?
Is it not? No.
No. And the professor's great. He's really good.
He's got the frizzy hair and
He's awesome.
And then the time machine
Hmm.
was
It's a DeLorean.
which you had to. I just remember it doing something. Was it going around in a circle or going breaking through the sound barrier or something? I
Can't
don't
remember.
know.
And of course, famously, his mum tries to crack onto him when she's a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
And that's I remember my wife said it's disturbing,
Yeah, they
Which is slightly disturbing.
Review that, really.
And there's that good joke where he sees who's the black musician and he's playing rock and roll, and then he goes, "Have a listen to this." Remember that joke in it?
No, I don't.
No, okay. There's some good stuff, and then doesn't he go? Isn't it a bit like It's a Wonderful Life, where he goes back and see the town's changed?
Yeah.
And Biff's the mayor and everything.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't exist.
So he learns something. He changes.
Yeah, he knows that it's important that he stays alive or whatever.
I know that Michael J. Fox,
Oh, he wasn't the first choice.
who was
The guy from Mask, who's quite serious. What's his name? Oh,
Jim Carrey?
No, not Mask. Yeah, no.
Oh no! Uh oh!
No. He's a great actor, but he played.
Haven't
what's
had a
his
noble
name?
moment for a long
Having an
time.
absolute noble moment here. Eric
Stoltz.
Stoltz. Eric Stoltz he actually did like 6 days of filming or something.
And then they went, he's not right.
He's not right.
And then Michael J. Fox probably came up and bounced onto the scene.
Well, I think the director wanted Michael J. Fox, but he was doing Family Ties, and so the sitcom, and so the directors, whoever was in charge, said, yeah, he can do it, but he's still got to do Family Ties. So Michael J. Fox was only getting a few hours sleep a night.
That's what I heard. He was doing Family Ties all day, then doing.
Can't believe I got Eric Stoltz's name. Yeah, it was him.
I think I got the Stoltz part.
Oh, you got the stuff.
You go back and check the tape. I don't care.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, but you did very well. He used to. So he was getting like 2 hours sleep.
Oh, he's very good. And he's perfect for that role. Like wholesome, funny.
He's a great talent.
Yeah.
He's a great talent, and he's had obviously some
Well, he's got Parkinson's.
challenges, which he's handling really well.
Have you seen those reunions they do with him and the professor on Jimmy Fallon and stuff, where they rock up in the DeLorean?
No.
Oh, they're fantastic. Whatever they go, we've got a surprise because it's been 20 years since Back to the Future. Well, I think it was 84, 85, so it was mid-80s, that movie. So what? That's like 40 years ago. And so the DeLorean rocks up and they both get out, and it's really funny. And they go, wow, the world's changed and all this kind of stuff. And they get out a phone. And it's really funny.
I remember Michael J. Fox being on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Ah, you're funny.
Funny.
Yeah, really funny. Spills a drink on Larry or whatever.
He goes, what do you want? What do you want? He goes, have a can of Coke. And then because he's shaking the can of Coke, which is really,
Oh, it's fantastic.
Fantastic, acknowledging, and it was great the way that Michael J. Fox did it.
It's really the perfect kind of movie in a way. It's just such a good. I remember the second one was okay, and the third one, when I went to Western or something, it was just crap.
Yeah, but it's a shame, isn't it, when they try to rekindle. Well, sometimes remakes work. Now, who was the guy who had the big hit from it? Huey Lewis. Didn't he have a big?
Oh yeah, he did. Hip to be square.
Yeah, was that from the?
Yeah, was that from there? Yeah, it probably was.
Am I allowed to be a Huey Lewis fan? Is that bad?
He's a bit daggy, mate.
Oh, come on!
Like being a Dire Straits fan.
Oh, hey, don't you have a crack at Dire Straits?
It's like who's that other band that Freeze Frame, the Jay Giles band? They were up there with Huey Lewis. Freeze Frame. My Angel is a Centerfold, that song?
Yeah.
Years go by, I'm flipping through a girly magazine.
Okay.
Anyway,
so what do we know and what don't we know? We don't know it. Well, beyond that, they did 3 movies. I don't know. Is there anything else we can really say?
Well, you know who I saw on a plane just last week? Stephen Curry. So I was going up to do gigs with
the brilliant Stephen Curry.
It was Brad Oaks, and Stephen Curry. He's got the biggest junket.
How good was it to be on that plane?
Oh,
you get David Hill and Steve Curry.
Yeah.
And were you all working the room? Were you giving the room a bit of love?
And people are going, as we walked off, some woman yelled out, "There's what's his name?" to Curry. He goes, that's the greatest thing ever.
But no, you had two people from the Nugget. Doesn't get any
I
better than
know.
that.
We only needed Eric. Could have been the
Were,
Nugget
were you
too.
papped or anything on getting off the
No. So anyway, he is he's an expert on Back to the Future.
But why?
I just know when we did the Nugget and stuff, he would talk about it. We should ring him. He's probably still in Queensland.
So you're saying that he's like,
Yeah, he's
I
an
don't want to say
expert.
nerd, but
Yeah.
he's probably watched it lots of times.
He loves Back to the Future.
So we could probably ask him any question. He'd know all about it because it's his number one love.
Let's ring him. Just imagine him sitting on a banana lounge up there in Port Douglas. All right.
Because I like charity work. That's what I do. But
Yeah.
that's where I give my energy.
Port Douglas.
Yeah.
Oh, let's give him a call.
Bloody hell do you want?
Yeah, it's Dave O'Neill. I'm ringing about the Nugget too.
Dave, thank God. I thought it was Eric Banner.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? What's going on?
I'm
Hey,
good. Well,
tell him I'm here.
Glenn Robbins is here. He's also
This is-
involved in the Nugget too.
This is weird. We're both on the line. We're in a sauna in Melbourne,
yeah.
and we wish you were here. Dave's naked.
Oh.
I'm naked.
Oh my God!
Look, the thing is, Stephen,
you,
there
you
is.
blokes know.
Yeah.
I've fangirled over you bloke and this podcast, right? You know, I listen to this podcast a lot. Am I on?
Yes.
Am I on somehow related?
Yes, the Nugget
Yeah.
2 is
Oh
not.
my God.
And the sad news is the Nugget 2 is not happening.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
joke.
not. Was that a joke? That's
Yeah.
some sort of funny joke.
Yeah.
No, you have top of your resume, somehow related phone call, stole the show. Yeah.
Bucket list tick. Dave O'Neill. Here's a pop quiz for you.
Yeah.
Glenn Robbins and Stephen Curry somehow related. When did they meet? When was
That's
the first
so
time?
good. You're exactly right.
No, I know this.
Yep.
I know
Hang
this.
on.
This is really good.
No,
Go.
filming of a fast forward sketch where you played a kid sitting in the audience at the Whiz Bang Theatre Company.
Oh, well done, Dave.
That's right.
Spot
That's
on.
right. 1990 or 91 or something.
Oh, yeah, and you stood out. But did you not do something to raise your profile by leaning out at the end?
Leaning into the audience, didn't you?
Didn't
The
lean
camera.
out and lean into the camera or
Mate.
something?
Mate, you know what I did? I put my finger to my mouth and overacted so badly.
No,
and
you
how's this? And we've discussed this, Glennie, right? It was so much fun. And you've kind of, Uncle. I'm standing there with Uncle Arthur, for God's sake, right? And I overact so badly. They gave me one line, right? Which was the line was a piece of shit. Because the question was, what do you call this guy? Right?
Oh, that's
And I
a
had to
good
say,
line.
Yeah, it's a good line. But how's this? When I told all my mates at school about it, and then I watched it back, I'd been revoiced by Steve Blackwell.
No.
Oh, wow.
No joke.
Wow.
No joke. They took
Wow,
the
that's
line. They
showbiz.
took the line off me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is, isn't it? You've only got you burn short and bright, my friend.
Yeah.
And then I met you on the Eric Banner sketch show where I kept saying, how
Yeah.
old is this guy, Eric? 'Cause
Yeah.
He goes, we've
You
got
know
this
what?
guy who's really young. I'm like, how old is he?
Yeah.
You told me a story, Dave, years ago about how Eric had, because we'd worked on the castle together, and Eric turns to you and he goes, oh, there's this young kid who's kind of pretty funny. He's got a rotten head on him, but he's pretty good. It's like, young beauty.
Hey, here's a challenge. Can you do the character from the castle and say what you think about Somehow Related? Is that too much for you to do? So sort of say,
Like he's narrating.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're the narrator.
All
You're
right.
the narrator?
yeah. This
All
will be
right,
good.
how about this? You ready? My name's Dale Kerrigan, and I don't understand how anything's related. Something like that? What do you reckon? Is that...
Oh,
That is
that's
so
awesome.
funny. Oh, that is good.
That
Is
is
Perky
awesome.
going to come get me?
Oh,
No, I think
so
you'll be
good.
right. You'll be
Now,
right.
he must be wondering why we called him because
Well, you haven't told him.
You've trumped up
What's
and
going
gone.
on?
Well, I saw Stephen on a plane the other day, and I see him about once a year.
yeah. And Bradford Oaks.
And Brad, we were touring, and
Yeah.
and you tell me about the podcast, how you love it, and then I just remember you were an expert on certain topics, which was Back to the Future, the movies. You love Back to the Future.
I knew you were going to go there because, Glennie, as you may or may not know, I know heaps about not much and not much about heaps.
Oh, no,
So
I wouldn't agree
Back
about
to the
that.
Future is my one topic that I reckon I can wax on.
Because we've got these topics from Sam, Back to the Future in a fridge, and so
Yeah.
why do you love Back to the Future? Let's start with that, Glenn. What do you think?
Well, let's start with at the start. In 1985, me and my brother Bernie went and saw Back to the Future at the Baldwin Cinema. We lived in Baldwin.
Yeah, great cinema.
in the Bible Belt. In the Bible Belt,
Great.
not the wrong side of the tracks. Let's be frank.
Yeah.
But we looked at each other at the end of that movie and we said, we are never, ever going to see a better movie than that. And I have literally seen that film. The first one I'm talking,
Yeah.
like the third one sucks. The second one's all right, but it's all diminishing returns, right?
Yeah.
But that first film, I must have seen 50 times.
Wow. You showing the kids?
I must. Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? I started too early. It's like with Stand By Me. I started too early with my boys and they went, Dad, it's a bit boring. And it's like, it's about time travel. What is wrong with you?
It is a great
boring
film.
about time travel and your mum hitting on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's
Yeah.
boring about that?
Yeah.
It's a great film. It's
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
film.
It is a classic.
What makes it so great though? It's because you've worked on many. How many films have you worked on, Stephen? 20?
With you?
No.
With you, too many? Oh, yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't check my IMDb as often as you
We
might
should be
think.
checking
But,
his IMDb. 20.
You know what you can do? Do me a favour and
Hmm.
you go and check my IMDb after this and you tell your audience. I don't know. I think it'd be probably maybe between 50 and 100. I don't know.
Wow.
Something like that. For films
So-
and TV.
and
shows, I
we
guess.
and you can be filming a movie. And I remember you gave me great advice when we were doing The Nugget. You just got to learn to
Stop
enjoy.
hitting on me.
I tell you
sorry.
the stories about The Nugget was so when I was telling your story on the plane to someone, to your director,
Yeah.
mate. I said,
I heard you, mate. I heard
yeah.
you. Your voice cuts through when you're 3 seats in front. I'll tell you. Yeah, keep going.
that when we turned up to Mudgee, which is a small town in New South Wales, we had to film The Nugget 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
producer
yeah.
said, "There's
23 years ago.
two choices of accommodation. There's a flat in the town, and then there's a farmhouse which is very remote. Who wants?" I said,
know where.
and I said, "I'll have the flat. I'll have the flat because Stephen will want to party on." And sure enough, you used to party on with the lighting guys and that, didn't you? You get the guitars out.
Dude, mate.
And-
some of those gaffers and some of those grips are still my mates to today because of the
Wow,
parties
so
we
good.
had while we were shooting The Nugget.
And
Yeah.
you were a mile away from the nearest farmhouse, and even then you got a complaint.
Yeah, and can I just say one thing? And this is full credit to you, Dave O'Neill. I've listened to almost every episode of this podcast for the last 2 years.
Yep.
How do you manage to shoehorn a reference to The Nugget into every single episode? It's freakish.
It's a classic film.
unbelievable.
I only watched it the other
It's the
day.
only classic Aussie
No,
film I've been in,
it's
apart
so
from
true.
Takeaway.
Selena and I sitting down, we struggled because there's so many things, 47 networks and there's nothing on. And the Nugget
yeah.
came on late at night one, and and I thought I'd watch a couple of scenes. Oh, there's Dave, there's Curry,
my
there's
God.
blah, blah, there's Brandon, blah, blah, blah. Watched the whole film.
What's the whole film?
Watch the whole film, loved
Hey,
it. And I
did
don't
you-
watch
did
whole
you-
films. I've been very...
You drift off.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
go to the toilet or something. I'm old
Yeah,
now
yeah.
and, don't come
Yeah.
back and fall asleep. Loved it. And the
Did
beautiful...
you make sure, though, Glennie, did you make sure that you told Selena that you taught me and Dave everything we know?
Well, I don't want to go too far, but when we first were working that day together, I didn't touch you inappropriately, but I think you touched me inappropriately.
Which didn't go unnoticed, by the
yeah,
way. I was
yeah.
a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
Uncle Arthur.
for God's
Back,
sake,
to the, Back to the Future. I can't remember who directed it. Who directed it? Was it
Robert
Zemeckis?
Zemeckis.
That's
So a
it.
lot of people think it was Spielberg.
Yes.
Spielberg was kind of the producer, but Robert Zemeckis, who ended up directing Forrest Gump, I believe. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, as far as Gump.
Tom can't play that character anymore, can he? Because you can't do anything anymore. Like, My Left Foot would have been a different film, wouldn't it? Robert Zemeckis, what a legend. What a legend. Amazing film.
can I ask you favourite scene?
Favourite scene? Okay, I'm just going to give you one line, Glennie, and I hope to God you know it. And if you don't, we're not friends anymore. Okay? You ready?
Uh-oh.
You made density. You know that
He
line?
did that really well.
Yeah, he did, didn't
Yes,
he?
Alan
George,
Moore-
it's George McFly, Crispin Glover, one of the
Oh, no, right.
loosest and best performances I've ever seen. Like comedy performance-wise, it's up there with the greatest,
Yeah.
right? And he diddled himself out of being in the future, Back to the Future, into the last two, right? Have you heard this story?
No.
No.
So he got so big on himself because his performance was so rad. And me and Bernie were just going, oh, we are in love with George McFly, right?
Mm.
And then he said to Steven Spielberg, classic mistake, you've done it too, Glennie, when you're talking to Spielberg, I deserve more money. Give me more money
I
because
love
I'm
it.
the
Yeah.
star.
Yep.
And they cut him out of the rest. And so then in Back to the Future 2, he's dead. He is dead. and they reverse engineered him being dead.
God,
Into
because you
the
never
second
saw him
film.
in a lot of other things. That was the end. They reckon that was the end.
Oh,
Wasn't
he was in River's Edge. He was in that David Lynch film,
yes.
River's Edge.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's got this wicked idea. Like the level that he gives his performance, I'm so jealous of it because in the wrong hands, i.e. mine, it would be the hammiest piece of shit going around, right?
Mm.
But there's something about Crispin Glover and his performance of George McFly. I love it so much.
Oh yeah, and you're were you a big Michael J. Fox fan anyway?
Are you kidding me? I wanted to be him. Have you got a second? I know you're doing a podcast.
Yeah, we got a
How's
second.
this? How's this?
Yeah.
I used to have a proper fantasy, right?
Uh-oh.
So I was youngest of 5. No, don't go there, Glenn, you weirdo.
No, I'm not. I love it. I love it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Building this
So
tension.
youngest of 5, right? And I was very rarely in the house by myself, but occasionally you just found yourself in this empty house that all the other people in my family were gone, right?
Yeah, it was.
I had this-
I'm from youngest of 4. It was very odd, wasn't it, when you were by
It was
yourself?
so
Very
odd. It was
yeah.
so odd, and that was why it was so awkward meeting Sophie Lee for the first time. I won't go into that, but anyway. So I'm there by myself. I used to have this running fantasy that Michael J. Fox and I were doing a movie together. I was 9 years old, right, or 10 years old, whatever it was. Just after I'd seen the film, and so we were doing this movie together, and we were both kissing really pretty girls. And we were best friends, and I took him to I took him to Luna Park, and we just became the closest friends. I used to run this fantasy in my head,
Of
like
course.
I wanted to be him or be around him.
Nothing
or
wrong with that.
something.
Yep, that is a
Oh,
very
mate.
healthy fantasy to have.
That's okay. It's not what you thought it was going to be. Glenn.
No,
You have to do it.
No, of
Some,
course not.
Right, but
some
yeah.
people want to be a footballer. Have you met any of them at all? Any of these guys?
What,
The
footballers?
cast? No, the cast.
the cast of Back to the Future.
Come on. You're an
no.
actor of the world. You're international. Surely.
No, I haven't met any of them, and it's a sad state of affairs that I haven't gone out of my way to meet them. But I would love to meet any or all of them. It's one of my favourite.
Okay,
films of all time.
hypothetical.
Yeah.
They're going to do
Go, Glenn.
Back to the Future, the musical. Are you auditioning?
Back to the Future, the musical. That's wicked. Yeah, can I audition for the role of Biff or Griff?
Oh,
Like the bully? Can I
Biff.
be the bully?
Biff was great.
I
Yeah, he
don't
was.
often get to be the bully.
Yeah. You're not big. You're not big. See, the bullies are always bigger guys.
How
Yeah.
dare you?
You're
How
naturally
very-
likable. You're just a very likable man.
Anyway, well,
Just
so
ask me.
do you know the connection between
Don't worry if you don't.
the fridge and Back to the Future?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Oh, I hope this is right.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
So there's a Netflix doco series, and it's like how the movies were made or whatever it was called.
Yes.
And the movies that made us or something like that. There is a reference. Oh, I hope this is right. If it's not, I'm going to be so embarrassed. Okay. Robert Zemeckis' first idea was something like this. He didn't think of the DeLorean. It was a fridge. The vessel. Now, this could be totally wrong. Just
Yeah.
let me riff for a
Yeah.
second, right? The fridge was the time-traveling vessel, right? And don't mess with the time-space continuum, whatever the fuck it's called. But there was something about he was worried that a fridge would set a bad example, something like this, where he's like, oh, no, but kids are going to want to sit in fridges and
Yes.
time travel or whatever.
Yeah.
So instead, he turned it into a DeLorean that you have to get to 88 miles per hour in a fucking car park.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because that's safer.
I reckon that's the answer. Hey, the DeLorean, was that a car that was already around? That was actually just a sort of bad sports car,
DMC,
wasn't it?
Mate. DMC, DeLorean Motor Company. And you should actually, there is another doco on the dude who started the DeLorean. He was the dodgiest mofo going around, and you need to see the story of this guy.
Wow.
It's wicked.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Stephen. Are you still
Sounds
sorry.
like a wrap up to me.
are you still in Queensland?
Yeah, of course I am.
What, you're not living up
Well,
there?
No. I'm up
Yeah.
here for a film festival, for Port Shorts Film Festival. My wife thinks I'm on a gardening tour of far north Queensland, but I'm literally just about to go to lunch and drink lots of wine.
It's-
So is that okay?
It's the greatest rort ever, this.
But we regularly
I-
have dinner. We regularly have dinner.
Once a year.
Once a year we have dinner.
We do,
We're
yeah.
about due because
We are.
I love those
We
dinners. I've been brought late onto the scene and I feel very honoured.
It's all the people that worked on the Eric sketch show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you mean brought late on the scene?
I
You've
was.
been at
You-
those
that was
dinners
going
the whole time, Greg.
No, that dinner was going for a while before I
Yeah,
joined in.
you definitely weren't there initially. No,
No. And then it was like, okay,
Yeah.
now's the time to bring him in. We're well established.
You were
And-
too busy going
and
to
you know what?
Ellie Goblet's dinner. You going to that,
Elliot.
which we've all been to.
And now you,
And you know
hey,
what, Glenny?
Yes,
Lift your game or you're out.
this is what I hear.
Yeah.
Well, last
No.
time Eric had the bloody COVID, and it was
No, you had COVID and couldn't go.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you
okay.
couldn't make it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Name me one time that Eric Banner has brought Brad Pitt to our dinners. Name me one
Never.
time.
no,
Never,
that's true.
never. And he'll tell stories,
You know
and he'll
what?
say people's first names. You're like, Brad, is that Brad Pitt? Who's he talking
Brad,
about?
yeah, Bradley. No, when he calls him Bradley, you think, is that Cooper? And he goes, no, I know him so well that I call Brad Bradley Pitt.
And we can say, well, I was hanging out with John Wood, whatever. And
John Wood. Oh, my God. I was telling a story about working with Anne Hattie, Helen from Neighbours last night. It's a different ballpark.
it's a different ballpark. Well,
Yeah.
good to speak to you, cousin.
Oh, so good.
Oh, thanks,
so
legends. I love
Yeah.
you guys.
and
yeah,
enjoyed
you
Port
too, mate.
Douglas. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard for some, Glenn.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
very hard.
Jeez.
Just don't tell my wife that this podcast exists because she's going to be all over me, mate. Don't tell her.
Okay.
I don't want her to know what I've been up to.
Yeah.
No, yeah, well, you're working up there. You're working.
In inverted commas, mate.
Stephen Curry, the great man. Well, Curry's got it, I reckon. Should we have thinking music anyway?
Oh, hang on. What do you mean, Carrie? Well,
Well,
you don't
that
know.
must be the answer. Okay, well,
Yeah,
you think about it. Look, you know what we should play? Curry didn't mention this. Biff, the guy who plays Biff,
Yep.
is a stand-up comic, and he does a song about all the questions people ask him.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, what was...
Oh, about that film.
Yeah, because that's...
And he made it into a song.
He still looks exactly the same. Biff might be like our age, but he looks exactly the same.
And where did he do it? Where did he do
Oh,
it?
he performs in comedy clubs. I've seen it on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay. Oh, okay. Can we hear
tra-
that?
Sam tracked down the Biff Back to the Future song for us. Let's hear a bit.
I went to the bar mitzvah of my nephew Josh. Now I'm not Jewish, but I like to nosh. Put on my yarmulke, started to pray. When the rabbi leaned over and I heard him say, hey, was that real manure? No, it wasn't. How was that DeLorean? A piece of garbage. Do those hoverboards really fly? It's a movie. Stop asking me the question.
Oh, wow. That was funny. Okay.
Oh, no, so now I have to think of an answer.
It's a movie. That's a funny song. It's a movie. Yeah, it's a
See,
movie.
now-
Hoverboards.
For the sake of the exercise, I've got to think of something else that's not the answer.
I'm going
That's
with Curry's answer.
All right. Okay.
Connection, go.
Yeah, a connection go that Kelvinator wrote the original, someone called Kelvinator, who also, his family invented the refrigerator. Oh, it's not going well, is it?
Shit house. What's the answer, Sam?
In the original script, written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, the DeLorean was not found inside of a car, rather a fridge.
Ah, there we go. So Curry's right.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, you know, he'd want to be right, really.
We didn't even get to talk about other movies with time machines in it. Like, you know, remember H.G. Wells, The Time Machine? Remember that? What about Back to... Oh, what about,
actually, that was back in the 50s.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
but they
great-
probably did
great
the
movie.
new versions of it. Other time machines.
Yeah, Guy Pearce was in the new version of Time
Right,
Machine. He
yeah.
played the H.G. Wells character, the main character. What about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh, you're good.
When they get in the phone booth or...
Yeah,
that's a funny movie
yeah,
too.
I can't think of any time machine ones. Oh,
Well, you've let us down.
yeah. But I did want to ask you something about the fridge.
You go on.
Because
Go
I
on.
don't.
Okay.
I
We're finishing on this, everyone.
know. Well, no. No, but as you know, I don't partake in drugs,
No.
and I even in households, I don't think I've lived in a household. When you have
Mm.
marijuana,
Mm.
do you keep it in the fridge?
No.
Okay, you just said that like I just thought that might be.
I don't think so. Well, yeah,
Aha!
I mean, I saw the mint in the fridge the other day, and that's a plant, isn't it? Like mint in a.
I reckon people out there are having who
I don't think you put marijuana in the fridge. No, you don't.
it might
Yeah.
make it worse
Yeah, I don't think you put it in the fridge. It's just like in a tobacco box or something.
because I just
somewhere.
thought because those little side ones where the hold the butter, that lift up.
Yeah, you can put it in there.
You can put it in there.
I just remember when our house got raided by the police in
What?
the 80s. Yeah, our shared house. I've told this story before. Our shared house got raided by the
no, you've
police.
never told this story before.
Yeah, anyway, but
We'll finish on this.
yeah, well, so my brother was working for a big organisation and someone had stolen documents and they believed it was him. It wasn't him. And so the cops raided at 6 a.m. and Noddy just ran and threw the bong in the dryer. I always remember that.
Through the bong in the
dryer
dryer,
where the cops wouldn't find it.
and they found it.
No, they were hopeless, these cops. They're searching.
Hey, the
things.
cops do a good job, but they meant well.
The
you know.
cops had me and my twin brother, right? And
Yeah.
they said to Glenn, "What is your date of birth?" And Glenn said, "This is my twin brother, David." Right, you two sit there. You two sit there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Right, Glenn.
Oh, were you nervous?
Yeah, God, because we were like 20. They were like
Yeah.
proper cops. And all right, Glenn, this is your twin brother. Yep. Okay, Glenn, what is your date of birth? Glenn's like, 8th to the 5th to 65. And the cop goes, all right, David, what's your date of birth? I go, it's the same. We're twins. He's like, oh yeah, okay. Anyway,
Okay, yeah, good question, good answer.
check the
Okay,
dryer
tick.
check the dryer for the bong.